Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode, Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up doing well. Got the mind in the right place. If not, let's put it in the right place on this awesome Monday so you can have a great start to the day and week. So going through the routine, I want to share with you guys today what I've been listening to. It's a new podcast, something new. Sometimes I share with you guys something that I've listened to over and over again, but it's different parts. This today is a new podcast. And again, the way it works is, whatever you start listening to on YouTube, it'll start recommending things to you. That's what I like about it. So it starts sending me new videos to check out, right? So I checked it out. So Darren Woodson, okay, you guys should know who Darren Woodson is, former cowboy, all right? He has his own podcast, The Darren Woodson Show. Check it out. Go to YouTube, subscribe to it, like it. In this, I came across that from the other podcast I was listening to, and that's a good thing. You start listening to this stuff, you'll start to get to know, what other people have out there in these spaces, and there's just a whole nother world of just good, positive, things happening out there that you're just not aware of, and you need to be aware of them. And how do you do that? You got to put yourself out there and start listening to it, and then you'll start to get to know who other people are. So I'm being introduced because they're bringing people onto these shows, to these podcasts, to these other people. So I'll get to know these other people. I'll go to their Instagram page, whatever page, and I'll like their page so that I can get more goodies, right? So anyways, Carlos Reyes is a Mexican immigrant. He tells his story in this podcast from beginning to end, how his mom, brought him over from across the border, had to go back and forth quite a few times because they got caught and all this stuff. Anyways, they make it, and now he's a multimillionaire. He's in investing, got his hands in all kind of stuff, set his mom up to where she don't have to work ever again because of all the things that she had to do to get him where he's at. But this is like an hour and 40-minute long podcast. But I want to share with you guys something that just caught my attention while I was doing my daily routine here. And it is, it either serves you or you serve it. Okay? It either serves you or you serve it. It's what he said in this podcast. And again, I'm always working, doing something, and when I catch something, it'll stop. I'll stop and I'll hit rewind and I'll listen to it a few times because it just grabbed my attention. And what he's talking about is you're a slave to whatever you cannot say no to. Okay? Whatever you cannot say no to, you're a slave to. And the lack of progress that you'll have for not saying no, okay? And I just did something the other day, podcast, I think it was Saturday. It was about your addiction. Like every addiction has a trigger. And it all has to do with that. So we have addictions, right? Whatever it is, okay? You have good addictions, and then you have bad ones, of course. Those bad ones will take you down a very bad place, dark place, put you in a hole, put you in a spot where it's going to be very hard to come out of. And then you have those other addictions to where it helps you win, okay? So I have a lot of healthy, winning addictions. And an example of that is listening to what I listen to every single day for hours and hours at a time. And so when he said, you're a slave to whatever you can't say no to, and it either serves you or it'll serve you. You either serve it or it'll serve you. You got to put those things in perspective, like today, to start the work week off and get everything set up for yourself. Like, what is it that you cannot say no to? Okay, you're a slave to that. Okay, you are serving that thing, and it's taking from you. It's pulling from you. It's not allowing you to go where you really want to go. And that's some deep stuff, man. Like, that's some heavy, heavy stuff to where if that right there doesn't make you just stop doing whatever it is that you should not be doing, or eating, or spending time with certain people, or listening to certain things, or having your mind in a certain space because it's not beneficial to you, you are serving that thing every single time you can't say no to it. And again, that just some deep stuff, man, to where it's just like, if that doesn't make you rethink and rewire your brain to stop doing, eating, spending, again, listening, or, being negative because you're serving that thing versus it serving you. Man, that's tough. If you cannot stop that, like that right there is enough to make, all right, cool, I'm done with that. Like, I don't want to be a slave to something to where it's not going to serve me. I don't want to be a slave to some food or drink or spending habit or, an individual that is unhealthy for me, unhealthy for my mind, for my body, for anything that's just not going to benefit me, my business, my family, the people around me. I got to say no to it. I don't want to be a slave to that. I don't want to be serving that thing. If anything, I want things to serve me. I want winning good habits so that I can continue to do good things for not only myself, because I got to be able to win first, but serve other people. And whenever you listen to these guys talk, it's always the same things, guys. It's always the same thing. Like, just serve other people. The more you do, the better you are to people. The more good things you do out there, the more good things are going to happen to you, man. And the more, stingy you are, just selfish, ungrateful, negative, whatever else you want to use as a word like that, you'll just have more of that. You'll attract more of that. You'll pull more of that into your life. So if you're not winning right now and you're not where you want to be, you need to really just take a step back and, like Jocko says, detach from the situation that you're in and look at the things that are not serving you well and what you are serving to put you in those positions. Like these guys always say, they always talk about it, man. Everyone wants to win. This is like, are you going to do the things to win? You don't want to be in that spot where you're at. You don't want to be financially backwards where you're at right now, in debt. You don't want to be at the weight that you're at. You don't want to be at the whatever that you're at or where you are right now. Then fix it. Then do something about it. Enough's enough. Say no, because it's not serving you. You're serving it. You are serving this negative thing that is putting you in a position to where you're not winning. And when you hear stuff like that, and at least for me, because everything's about a competition for me. I'm competitive in everything. So I definitely don't want to lose. And when I hear stuff like this, it's like, man, whatever it is that I'm giving more service to that's helping me lose, I need to cut that off like real quick. It could be a person, a family member, again, just whatever. You need to stop that so that you can start doing something else that's actually going to serve you in a much, much better direction. So it was just a great way to start off the day, man. It really was. Again, if you are not listening to this stuff on a day-to-day basis, man, on a routine basis throughout the day, again, a mobile university, your car, everyone has to drive somewhere. You're spending time in your car somewhere. Cut the radio off, start putting in some good stuff, a podcast of some sort. I don't have a lot of time to just sit down for like 30, 40 minutes, an hour at a time to read. I'm always moving, so I love the podcast. I love the YouTube videos because wherever I go, I can just listen to it. Chores outside, washing cars, getting ready to go for a 3-mile, well, I got to walk my dog first and then go for a 3-mile run. I'll be listening to this stuff. I really don't listen to music. I'm just pumping my mind every single day with the goodies. And you have to do that if you really want to win. And if you're not winning right now, that's a big reason why. Because you're just listening to either to the wrong thing or you're not listening to anything at all. And you need to, because it's going to serve you in a much better way than just listening to the radio or whatever it is that you are listening to. So again, just to end it out, it either serves you or you serve it. Okay, you're a slave to whatever you cannot say no to. You want to get in better shape, you're not happy with the way you look, with where you're at, with your weight, whatever, then check out what you're not able to say no to and start saying no to it. So many people I know are just not financially in a good position because they can't say no to swiping their credit card for things that they don't really need. Okay, they're either trying to impress someone, trying to buy something that they don't really need or whatever. And all you got to do is just say no and start putting yourself in a better position. That's easy for me. If it ain't in the budget, man, or if it's not in the whatever, it's an easy no because I know it's not going to put me in a position where it's going to help me to be financially. Whatever you're not listening to or whatever you're listening to that's in a negative space, that's not helping you out mentally, because that's probably the biggest thing for most people is your mental space. You got to protect that with everything that you have, especially nowadays with, I was just talking to someone just the other day about it, man. It's like so much now I'm hearing people talk about anxiety and depression. And I get it. It's a real thing. But a lot of it has to do with when I talk to certain people that talk like that, they're not listening to anything good. They're just not. They're not even trying to get themselves out of the position that they're in. They're a slave to that space. They're a slave to that thing. And I don't want to be that way. So I want to make sure that I'm putting myself in a position to win with everything. So you got some good advice. You got something for me to read or something for me to listen to, share it, put it in the comments below, whatever. Because, you know, for me, it's just all about growth. You got something, you know, nutritional vitamin that's going to help me get better as a person. I'm all ears. I want to read it. I want to put it into my daily routine of some sort to help me win. That's the kind of person that I am. That's what I want. And I definitely don't want anything that's going to help me lose. So anyways, you're a slave to whatever you can't say no to. And the lack of progress that you have right now is because you just can't say no. It either serves you or you serve it. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll see you.